Hi everyone, today I have another exciting guest artist video. These guest artist videos are a bit like buses. I haven't done one for years and now two have come along at once. Aren't we lucky? So today I have the makeup artist Marcus Gurgel. And I met Marcus about 10 years ago when he was working on my backstage team. So he came to Paris with me and did some shows and with my team and also in London. And I think we all just fell in love with him because he's just so lovely. And he's since gone on to have a career in television and he's really successful. And he does one of the biggest shows here in the UK, which is Strictly Come Dancing. I think it's the same as Dancing with the Stars and there's all different versions around the world. And I always look forward to seeing the makeup that he does for that show because it's always just sparkly and festive and beautiful. So I asked him if he would come in and because we've just had the final to come in and do one of the looks and share it all with us because I think it's just perfect for this time of year. So welcome, Marcus.
Hi Lisa, thank you very much for that and thank you for having me. Well, I've got my beautiful model here, Jennifer, and today I'm going to create my go-to look, my go-to Strictly look really. The glittery sparkly eye and a lovely glossy nude lip. Let's do it. So I've cleansed your skin and I'm going to use my secret weapon and that's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched. So I can even say that word, I'm telling you, but I love this product. But it is amazing. It preps, it moisturizes, it primes, it does everything. And I use a lot of it. I mean, a lot. So welcome to the order, Marcus. And then literally just massage into the skin. It's like a little facial massage, do you know what I mean? But done by me, not I'm actually a specialist. And that's what I do. And it smells amazing. Yeah. It makes me think about when you go into a spa, that's what you get, you know, that kind of smell. But literally a lot of it. Because by the time I'm done your eye makeup, because I always start with eye makeup, by the time I go back to your skin is like nice and moisturized and will take the foundation really well. Sounds really weird, but that's what I do.
It's lovely.
That's my thing. That's when I think about what I've got to cook. What am I having for dinner today? So that's my first layer. And then I use, this is by Charlotte Tilbury, and that's the eye cream. And I swear by it. I mean, you can tell I've used a lot of it, you know, gone through pots and pots of it, but it works. Just look up for me. Perfect. So this is another weapon of mine. So when I do eye makeup, I always prime. But instead of using an eye primer, I use a concealer because if it sets under your eye, it's going to set on top of your eyes. That's my logic to it. And this is by Tarte, and I absolutely love them. So quite a bit, you know. And that'll become my base. And the colors will pop more, it will stay longer. And I actually go all the way there, because sometimes I do bring shadows all the way down to the nose.
So what kind of looks do you like to do more like?
Glam. Babe, that is straight away, let me tell you. Because when I started makeup, the reason why I started was because I loved all the glamorous women that, you know, that you see in magazines and think of Dynasty and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I adore the no makeup look. I think it's beautiful and, you know, yeah, lovely. But I love glitter. That's why going into TV was actually really good for me because the shows that I do, it's full on. It's glitters. It's you know, making someone into a cat. So that's your base done. That's when we're going to go to the eyeshadow. I'm just sort of creating a crease, but not. To me, I'm just setting the concealer. And the eyeshadow that I'm using is quite similar to your skin tone, so you won't even see what I'm doing. To me, it just creates a base, and then it becomes easier to blend later on when I use the darker colors. So literally just setting that concealer work that I've done as your eye primer. So I don't actually put any eyeshadow there, the inner corner, because I use that, because it's so sticky now. Later on when I come with a sparkly shadow, that is what it will adhere to it really well, and it won't move. So I'll bring the shadow all the way down here, because as we know, this day and age, people love to contour their noses, and I do for some people. So if I bring the shadow all the way down here, half of the work is done, because then all I've got to do is bring from the tip of your nose all the way up, but that is already blended there, so I don't have to spend hours blending it. This is the second color we're using. We're going to use a lot more, and to be fair, for some people it sounds like a lot of makeup that I'm doing, but when you work in TV and you've got about 1 million lights on you, everything seems to be dulled down a bit. So that's why the more you add, it's not actually making you look like you have so much on, because the lights around you will make it look actually okay, believe me. So for this color here, for the darker brown that we use, the second shade of brown, I don't go all the way up to the crease. I just keep to sort of creating a V shape. So I go down here, so where your brow bone is, so put it there, and then go down to your lash line. So that's all I'm doing. And I go back and forth. I do one eye, then I go back to the other eye, then I want to change the other eye, then I go back again. And that's another tip actually. If you are doing makeup like this, which is such a glittery look and such a full-on kind of makeup, again, full-on in real life, but absolutely fine for TV, always start with eyes, because whatever eyeshadow drops on your cheeks or whatnot, you can just clean it. So just a little tip, when I'm adding shadow, so the first color will always be the bigger brush, then you go into a medium brush, then you go to a smaller brush. So if you see all of them there, they're all very different size. So this again is another shade of brown, but is a lot darker, and I'm just going to concentrate this at your lash line and just touching the brow bone there. It's that little, when I say brow bone, it's this little bit here that goes in, so you're able to go in. That's what I mean, but mainly like the lash line, and then just flicking it to the eye. I love working with a lot of brushes. Some people use one brush, some people use two. I use, say, 20 if I have to, because I like to going back with the color that I had before on this brush to blend, and it's all about the blending. You know, it's easier for me to have all these brushes around me and making sure that the colors will look seamless. It's just a smoke. That's why I say smoky eye. All right, so now I'll go with the black. So even though I'm going to add an eyeliner to you, but I like to smoke the outer corner, even without the eyeliner being there yet. It's just a little thing of mine, just so I can see where it's going to go and what it's doing to the eye. And again, a very small brush. No joke, I've done this eye over 100 times.
Always works.
It always works. It's my go-to. So this is new to me, and I'm very happy about it. But this is Lisa's new liquid Lurex. This is the Anjelica shade, and I always use it. I always do a liquid shadow anyway, because for that extra pop of color, and this is beautiful, this color here. So what I'll do is I'll go straight into the eye, and that bit where there is no eyeshadow, is, you know, it's the bit that there's no eyeshadow in, that's where I'm going to put the liquid shadow there. So I put it with that, just halfway, not even halfway, a third from the inner corner, and then I'll get a little brush, flat brush, and I'll just tap, 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 tap. So I used this last Saturday, this same colour. Because it gives me exactly what I need, that extra sparkle. Sometimes I do pare down, strangely enough. So I'm just building the colour now. Absolutely stunning. You could go out like this, trust me, that is beautiful. But it is strictly time, and it's party time, and it's Christmas and everything else. So I do go with a bit more glitter. My surname should be Marcus Glitter, really. That's my full name there. So I'm going to use this Stila one. And with this one, I literally put dabs of it, because it's quite powerful. And then again with the brush, I'll just tap, 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 tap. Right, next bit is liner. And I've got a little trick. So that's my Inglot liner. And I've had this one, I would say, for about 2 months now. But it does dry out. However, they do this thing called Duraline. And all you need is just a little drop. It works. A miracle. So get your liner brush and just got to mix it up. But this is the blackest of black eyeliner I've ever used. I'm a fan. I've gone through millions of pots. The line I'm doing is, it's not too thick, not too much, because all I'm doing is because I'm going to add lashes on you. So this is just to cover that lash band. So if you close me. Do not breathe. Remember, when you're doing this, do not breathe. Think about the darkest of the darkest things. And it's not really a flick, it's more of a, it's a night lash thing, so it just hides the lash and frames the eye as well. And if you look down and look down here, and now it's the thing about matching that to the next eye. They are friends, they're not twins. So if they don't match, don't worry, the lash will cover everything. And that's you done. So that's the liner done. Look up, look straight. That's you. Again, for anyone out there, do not go mad about the liner not matching. Again, this is you doing your best. The one thing I see a lot is people try to correct their liner, and by the end, the line is actually here. So do your best, do what you think it suits you. If you're putting a lash there, and you know, by the time your foundation is on and everything's on and your dress is on, your hair is on, that's the last thing people will notice. They're not going to go, oh my God, your lash looks, you know, your liner looks wow. Nah, you're beautiful as you are. Trust the process. So lash next. Eylure are my favorite lashes if I have to pick them, because they have their range of lashes is so good. Like you've got the daytime one, the evening one. The one I'm using on you is in between, so it's not too much, but it's not a light lash either. But I do cut them. So best thing is I never start a lash from the very inner corner, because that it irritate you and make you cry. That's when people like get watery eyes, especially in the corner. It might be the lash, because that band is like poking you and poking you and poking you. So I start sort of about there. So I leave all that space out, and then I'll measure to the end of your lash. So here I'm gonna cut 4 little bits. So I just count 1, 2, 3, 4. Snap. Bend and snap. You know, if you've seen Legally Blonde, you know what I'm talking about. Dual glue, my favorite. Use it. It doesn't burst. I don't like the tube one. I like this one. It's more practical to me.
Okay. Easy application.
Easy application and everything else. So just on the lash band, and just let it sit there for 10 seconds, just so it gets quite tacky, and that'll be easy to apply. I never go straight. I always go on top. So on top of your lash, then I go above here, and I'll place the lash there. And then tacking the inner corner. and tack in the outer corner. The reason why I didn't do the base, here we go, you see why. So just clean it up, and all that shadow there, I'm just able to clean it, and there is no foundation, there is no concealer. I'm going to start all fresh. So now it's foundation, and this is Lisa's new foundation. I absolutely love, because not only has coverage, but it looks like skin. And I'm saying this, I know she's here, but I'm not saying this because she's here. I actually really enjoy working with this. I've been working with this for the past 2 weeks, and I haven't had a problem with it. It stayed, and especially in TV when you do makeup for so long, it's like doing makeup at 8 o'clock, you know, in the morning, and the show is not until 6 in the evening. And trust me, it's still there. So very long wearing. Love it. So here we go. This is my little palette again, my hand. I just use it as a palette. And then I like to use a mixture between a brush and a beauty blender. So that's how I do it. And I start here, from your nose, and then I'll bring it out. And when I'm doing black skin, I always find if you warm it up, use a color that is a bit warmer, it brings life to it, and then all the highlighting will come later when you use concealer. So I would say for anyone that tries to, for some reason, use a lighter foundation to highlight, use something that is warmer, and then with the concealer you'll be able to lighten it up and create definition and light and shade and everything that you may like. Just sometimes when people go too light on their foundation, it can look ashy, and I hate the ashy color. So if you go warmer.
I definitely say that was an issue I had years before when we didn't have such inclusive shades and colours. You couldn't really help but be ashy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the darkest shade of black. And so it's nice now to be able to really show the true beauty of your makeup.
Yeah.
With the right tones.
I think we've gone a long way with makeup. I remember when I first started trying to find different shades, it was just a no-go, especially if you went to the drugstore. There was nothing there. So you had to go into the MAC store, to the Bobbi Brown, and you know, of course, and they pricier. Luckily, I was able to afford it, but for that little girl that is going up and wants to start doing makeup, it was a Christmas gift instead of
saving up your pocket money.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the foundation I'm concentrating on at the center of the face, and then I'm bringing it out. I mean, you have amazing skin anyway, so this is just for the cameras.
Thank you, Marcus.
Here we go. And then I take a tiny bit with the little round part of the beauty blender, and then I go everywhere. What Lisa's done, and again, this I'm not saying because we know each other, I'm saying because as a makeup artist, that's what I find. She was able to come out with shades that I don't have to mix three foundations to find that one shade. And she's done that, and that's what is brilliant. So remember, the concealer I use as your prime is your eye primer is now back, and that's when I'm going to do all the highlighting. This again is by Tarte, so I go here, there, top of the lip, chin, nose, and forehead. So that's what I want. So when you're doing highlighting, say if the sun is hitting you, this is where the sun would go, there. So in the middle of your face. So the sun will never touch there, will never touch there. So you're highlighting because the light is literally going on you. And to blend that, beauty blender. Always, you know. One tip that I do like, so I'll blend the forehead first, then I go to the nose, and I go to the lip, and then I go to the chin. But I let the eye concealer, where under the eye, sit there for a bit, because the more it dries, the more coverage you get from it. Especially with this one, I don't know if it works for it. I don't use many concealers. I know what I like, and I know what it works for me, especially working in TV and stuff. You gotta keep with your faves. But for this particular concealer, that's what works for me. So it's been sat there for a while. So I like a sponge because it doesn't, I mean, you tell me now, but does it hurt when I'm doing this?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So remember, you know, especially under here, it's such a sensitive area. So that's what I love a beauty blender. It works every time. It blends beautifully, but it's also really soft on the skin. But then with the bottom of the beauty blender that I had, it still has some foundation in there. You just blend everything else. So they're all cohesive. They're all working together. So say if we were on set right now, I would have a producer coming in right now and saying, got 5 minutes, got 5 minutes. Literally. So doing this and having the time is actually beautiful. I am going to do cream contour, however, because I've just done your concealer, I want that to be set, and I just don't want it to move at all. And this is an old trick. Actually, some of the drag queens love them, absolutely obsessed. And it's called baking. And I still do it and do it to everyone. So if you just look up for me, this one I'm using is the Mercier translucent powder. So the baking idea is your skin is producing warmth, it's hot, but I'm putting this powder there where the concealer is, okay? So the hotness, the temperature is trying to come out, but I'm blocking with the powder. So it's cooking, it's baking. And by the time I brush that off, your concealer will not budge. So now I do your cream contour. I do have a favorite brush for this. This is by Real Techniques. It's that brush. I do not know the name of it, but it's my favorite. And I'm using Fenty Beauty today. So top of the year up to there. Do you call it a third of the way, 2/3 of the way? I don't know. Not good with mattes. So, but literally that's what you're doing. So you go from here all the way down there. I'd say 2/3, like, yeah. And then I'll bring it up. Blend, 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 blend. And remember, you're still baking. Babe, let it bake. The longer you leave, the better. So I'm going to use the same contour color just to contour your nose a tiny bit. Again, this is not necessary. I'm just doing because I know the girls out there love it. I'm going to go down here. And then on the other side. Same brush. Just take all the color out. Then you bring it down to the side. But remember, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is just a thing that I do. Again, I think working in TV, that's what I use all the tricks that I can possibly use. So I've done your contour. You're still baking. I'm now going to move on to powder, so I'm able to take this powder out and then use my next powder. So, and the reason why I use so much powder is in TV, because again, for the jobs that I do, there's a lot of light, and you look a bit too shiny. So that's why I tend to work with powders more than I do with creams. Next powder, Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm just setting everything. So where I've done the contour and the rest of it, but I'm not using too much of it. Though I say I use a lot of powder, I'm not like going, you know, full on crazy powder lady. Good. That's me done. Thank you very much. Blush. So I like to mix colors. This is very embarrassing, but this is my favorite palette. And it's been used and abused. And that color there, I can't find it no more. It used to be my mark. They discontinued it. But see that little rim? I still use it pretty much every day. I'm so sorry, guys. It's dirty. But I'm mixing these colors, just so you know. There and there. Can't tell you the name. Don't remember. But it's like a goldish and a reddish. So I've done blush, I've done contour, and There is some highlight there from the actual blush, but I want more. There's always more. With me, it's always about more. But this one is actually beautiful. Again, by Lisa Eldridge. Absolutely love. It's a lovely colour. It's a liquid highlighter that works on top of everything. If you've got powder there, if you've got creams there, it works. But how I do it, I just literally mix on the back of my hand. Then I go da, 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 and my fingers are now my tools. So I apply with one, blend with the other. And I actually take out to the brows as well. Again, going with one finger, blend with the other. And because it's so fine, I can't quite explain what she's done there, but you can actually use this on top of powders, which is brilliant. And may I tell you, fingers are very good for makeup. Like, they blend things, so use 5 of them. Use the whole hand. Boom. So you're glowy, you're beautiful, but you're not a chandelier. That's my thing. Sometimes that robotic look, literally sometimes I think it's Robocop coming after me. Too much. We've done the majority of the skin now. So I'm going to go back to your eyes. Look up at me. That's the first color. Beautiful. Then I go the second darkest color. And I start from the outer, going in. And then the third color, again, the outside. The first color will go all the way down to the inner corner. The second color will stop around there. And then the third, which is the darkest color, will stop around here. Because I'm trying to extend your eyes. I'm not trying to create the almond shape that you already have. I'm just trying to elongate there. So that goes all the way. That's your base color. Then the second darkest brown will go from here. You got amazing eyes, may I tell you. You were blessed, woman. Wow. And then that's the third color, which is the darkest one. I'm using Pat McGrath. I trust, I believe in this mascara. It doesn't budge, it doesn't move. With me, whatever doesn't budge, doesn't move, that it will go straight in my basket. Trust me. And look up for me. Okay, and then I'm going to get you to look down. I'm going to place my finger there and then join your lashes. So that's how you create that seamless lash. So you use mascara as a glue, really. I like this pencil by MAC. It's Cork. There's a lip liner there. And I start here. And it's just a tad lighter. Some people like to go darker. I like to go lighter. And then, I'm not going crazy. I'm just following the line of your lips. And I'm filling in a tad. This lip liner works on so many people. Different skin tones, different lip shapes. You can do whatever with this pencil. Cork is like a corker. Cheesy ass, I love it. So I'm going to use Lisa's lip gloss in the shade Effect. Again, let me just tell you, I'm really bad with names. I don't remember people's names. I don't remember products' names. I don't remember anyone. I normally just say hello. I'm going to use this. So I'm going to go straight with the applicator there because I really like the applicator. So this shade is a pinkier nude, but mixed with the liner that I used, it creates, to me anyway, my perfect shade of nude. Right. So now is when I get you to go crazy on your lips. Go, keep going, sweetheart. Trust me, perfect. Then with just a cotton bud, I'll just go around the edge so there's no edge to it. So I love the color. It's beautiful. But I'm going to use a tiny bit of a darker lip liner just so I've got a bit more definition there. Literally just there. And then with a cotton bud, I'm going to blend it. So this is our last bit, so the brows. So I don't know why I leave it for last, but I think when the brows frames your face. So it to me it's like, so you've got this beautiful canvas, and then I'm now framing it. I'm gonna cry. That was quite deep, wasn't it? But that's true. That to me, that's why it's the finishing touches, and it's like putting the frame into a beautiful canvas. So here we go. I'm using the Huda Beauty brow liner. It's so fine, it's actually ridiculous how fine it is. So what I do is I just go tiny little strokes. I mean, your brow shape is great, so I'm not changing the shape of your brows, I'm just going with it, but really light strokes there. Whatever needs a bit of filling, I'm just gonna, and then keep brushing them. I'm being very posh today because normally I just use the end there. I just use that one instead of a whole new brush. But for you, Jen, I'll do this.
Is this what you would normally do, like on set? When you're working on the shows, would you use like one brush and just...
Yeah.
I guess you've got a lot of people to get through as well.
When going back to Strictly days, I used to work as part of a team. And we had loads of people to make up, and so to me it was about being quick and getting these people in your chair, out of your chair as quick as you could possibly do. So using this, it was a 2-in-1 instead of having to hold two things, and sometimes but now I actually have more time because I look after the beautiful Motsi Mabuse, and actually spend my time with her and, beautifying her. Not that she needs much, trust me, that woman is a muse. She's my muse. She
absolutely beautiful.
She is, it really is. So I have more time for that. Times have changed. And one step, again, I'm going to talk about, not being twins, but your brows, again, are not twins. They are sisters, they speak every weekend, but sometimes they grow apart. So don't stress so much about getting it so perfect. In fact, no one is perfect. No one's face is so symmetrical. So don't stress so much. This is by MAC. It's the Bold Brunette. But it's good that it sets and creates textures on the hair, on the actual brow, so it grabs the hair really well. So this is my last, I promise it's my last step. Just a bit of powder. Again, just to make sure that when you go under those lights, you don't look shiny, you just look glowy. Now you're done. How'd you feel?
Amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at it.
Well, that's you.
I mean...
Babe, all I did was a couple of brushes here and there.
Well, I normally do like a 90s, like glam supermodel inspired look, but I think this is like my new look now. Yeah, definitely me. It's a bit of me. I love it.